Welcome to another exhilarating episode of Comic Book Straight Talk, brought to you from the secret basement inside one of America's oldest comic shops, Tulsa's own The Comic Empire. Now, true believers, open up your ear holes and get ready to have your head filled with the best comic book knowledge this galaxy can handle. That's right, it's time for another nerd overload with Comic Book Straight Talk.
Welcome to Comic Book Straight Talk. I'm Terry the French Tickler French.
Captain Dalian.
Just Kenny.
And our special guest star,
Just Carrington.
Just Carrington. So what are we talking about today, Dal?
Well, I think we'll do some news articles, won't we?
What's first on your news list?
Well, the big thing would be the whole Marvel X-Men Gold 1 controversy that broke last week about Adrian, is it Saif? How do you say Adrian's last name?
And I think it's Ardian.
Ardian. It's probably Ardian. Adrian, or if you're American. Putting in the racist...
not racist.
Or not racist. Anti-Christian, anti-Jewish...
anti-Semitic.
Yes. Phrases and stuff in the book.
So how did he get it through in the first place?
Well, obviously there was an editor that didn't know his racist quotes, I guess, sir. I don't know. I mean, you being the artist, I would throw that right back at you. How would one get that through?
Well,
as a graphic designer for Batman,
on if you have editors anymore. They don't have any. They don't have any editors.
Well, I really don't know if the editor would have mattered. I mean, I don't think. I mean, it wasn't like it was.
Unless the editor was a Jew, they wouldn't have caught it.
Right.
And had read the Quran.
Yeah.
So because they were verses from the Quran that. I guess they said that to wipe out all Jews from the face of the earth. So, which is ironic because the guy's working at a company that was started by a Jew and was turned into one of the two biggest comic book companies in the world by two Jews.
Yeah.
So.
Well, his quote now is in his dismissal letter saying that Disney is. Disney's owned by Jews and bashing Jews is bad or something like that now, or
they're Islamophobic or something.
Yeah. His career's over with. I mean,
I don't think so.
I mean, a lot of.
Well, I mean, anymore. I mean, if you create controversy, that seems to further your career.
Yeah.
Trump, who creates a lot of controversy, is now our president.
Probably
a really bad example, but
that's probably well. But yeah, a lot of other artists and stuff are coming out saying that that he's done with. But Gail Simone worked with him on Batgirl, and I don't know if she had a whole lot of problems with it. I mean,
well, you probably didn't sneak any of that stuff in.
Probably not. No.
This whole anti-Semitic thing is like really growing at an exponential rate in America. And I don't get it, but whatever. It's a whole religion thing. I don't want to get off on that.
No. It's the same like political correctness. I mean, political correctness is run rampant.
Yeah.
You can't say or do anything without somebody being offended.
No.
So, what else you got, Dal? Star Wars trailer?
Star Wars trailer came out at Star Wars Celebration. It's like my show, I guess, because apparently Terry's throwing everything to me.
It is.
Yes, the Last Jedi trailer came out Friday around 11 o'clock, I guess, if you want to put the time to it. Teaser trailer, because Terry obviously didn't like it because he wasn't teased and thought it was very blah.
There wasn't much teasing.
Yeah, he's blah, but that's okay.
So, other than him saying that the Jedis need to be gone, basically. So I wonder why he thinks the Jedis need to be dispersed.
I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. You generally read a lot of the Star Wars stuff, so I thought you might have some insight on it.
No, I don't know why.
None. So
what do you got, Terry?
Well, I as far as news goes, the Ragnarok trailer.
Mm-hmm.
That I thought was really good.
So you were teased
I
with
was
that? You were excited about
that?
That
was more of a trailer than a teaser.
So you were excited to see...
I was excited to see that. I was excited to see the Hulk from Planet Hulk basically on there. That was really interesting. And then on top of that, they've done some, some creative people have done this thing where these other people start showing up instead of Hulk. And Thor is like, yeah, I'm at work. And then like one of the last one of them was some of the girls, I guess, from Ghostbusters or something, So that was just a funny little add-on that some fans have added to. Did you see the Thor trailer or the Ragnarok trailer? You haven't seen it yet.
No.
It's pretty good. It's worth checking out. The Star Wars trailer, like I said, you're not going to get much out of it, I don't think.
I saw they're doing a Captain Phasma comic.
It could be interesting.
And what's weird, though, is that IDW is doing the Star Wars Adventure comic.
Yes. And they're hoping to bring in younger readers to be able to read those and then segue over to Marvel or steal Marvel readers to read something like that. I was okay. But yeah, it's odd.
That was interesting. Greg Rucka's off Wonder Woman because he can't keep up.
Does that mean we may get Frank Cho coming back on covers?
Who knows? Hey, man, he's doing great on the Harley variants.
I want to see a Harley variant, though, as with Wonder Woman on Rucka's last issue of Wonder Woman to come out, hopefully they can come out at the same time. It's her in lingerie and saying "Bye Rucka" or something on it, I don't give a Rucka or something.
Yeah, I don't give a Rucka like that, yeah.
Won't happen, but it'd be kind of funny. So what else you got, Terry?
New Labyrinth movie supposedly in the works, but...
it's not a remake.
Not a remake. But who is going to take the place of David Bowie?
Good question.
Or who could?
Yeah, who could?
Well, and Tim Curry was in...
And then who was...
Tim Curry can't do his... No, Tim Curry wasn't in it. He was in Legend.
He was Legend. Okay, that's right.
He was in Legend. Yeah. And who was the girl in that?
Jennifer Connelly.
Jennifer Connelly, yeah, who was also in one of my favorite movies, Dark City.
Well, and The Rocketeer, too.
She played Betty.
Played Betty in The Rocketeer. Dark City.
I like Dark City.
You're the only one of the few people.
I am not.
Hello.
Dark City is a good movie.
Career Opportunities.
Oh, yeah, I forget about that one.
Forget that one. You're like, yeah, forget that one.
How could you forget that one?
Well, I don't know.
He wasn't teased when he watched it.
That didn't tease me enough. Yeah.
They've cast Deadpool. They've not Deadpool for Deadpool 2. They cast Cable.
They cast Cable, yeah.
Which is going to be kind of funny because he's going to go from playing Thanos to playing Cable. Josh Brolin.
And didn't he have another role as well?
That I don't know.
I thought he had one more role. He was playing somebody else.
Well, he played Jonah Hex.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so he's played all these
Yeah,
Marvel
so he's played...
No, he didn't.
Didn't he play Jonah Hex in the Jonah? Wouldn't you?
They never made a Jonah Hex.
They never made a Jonah Hex. Does he have it in with some of the bigwigs at Marvel or something to be able to play
weren't you up for that role of Cable?
No, it wasn't me.
Wasn't you? I thought you were up for that role.
But
okay.
I don't know. I think there's a lot better choices than Brolin for Cable. And I think a lot of the fans even threw out some really good ones.
I actually thought it was funny. I thought Kevin Nash, he's a little older, but he would probably do pretty well as Cable.
Well, and Pierce Brosnan was mentioned too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess we could discuss the new Doctor Who. We were just kind of talking about that a little earlier.
And we all know my opinion on Doctor Who, and after we got to
talk about it. We got a new Doctor Who coming.
We do have a new Doctor Who.
And what was that guy's name?
Chris Marshall.
Chris Marshall. And he was in Death in Paradise, which I don't think I've seen, but I think... Kenny, have you seen it?
Yeah.
Is it a period piece?
No.
Death in Paradise?
No.
Okay.
It's about...
Sounds like a period piece.
It's about a British inspector that gets sent to an island, one of their British territories, and it's like... So you have this very stiff British inspector in Jamaica, where... It's not Jamaica, but it's supposed to be Jamaica. And... they're all laid back, no problem, whatever, and he's very uptight. And so so I think you're going to kind of get this kind of goofy, kind of bumbling type Doctor again.
Kind of like early Matt Smith.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we were discussing. I think I might even said this in another podcast. I think the guy from Fantastic Beasts would make a great Doctor Who.
And I say Haley Atwell.
Which I agree.
From Agent Carter.
And we were just discussing, I wonder if everybody's ready for like a woman as a doctor.
I think they would be.
And what was your opinion on that, Dal?
I'm not a Doctor Who fan. So.
I thought you were watching Doctor Who there for the
No.
longest time, though.
No, I will not, plan my day to sit and watch it. If it's on and I'm sitting in there reading and the girls are watching it,
What could you not be a fan of Doctor Who about?
every time I go to try to watch it, I think back to the old Tom Baker and all the cheesy when they had very little budget and
Or no budget,
the spaceship on the
basically.
string that you can see, and it looked. I'm not. And I know it's gotten better, and I have seen some of them, but I'm just.
But the stories is what you.
Well, I understand the story.
Well, Dow's-
I have seen several of them. I've watched a season or two, so I understand. Yes.
Dow likes rom-coms, so
He's a little bit of a graphic whore as well. He's got to be high graphics for him, or he can't get into it. So a little bit more of a bumbling Doctor Who coming back. Okay.
or hey, he could probably pull off a very serious Doctor too.
Well, a lot of the other ones were not real serious, but when it was time to get serious, he turned around. Especially, who am I thinking of?
Matt Smith.
Matt Smith?
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking of who's before.
David Tennant.
David Tennant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
David Tennant. When it time to get serious, he was chilling. So.
He was chilling as in terrifying, or he was chilling?
He was chilling as in terrifying. I mean, he got really, wow, somebody you wouldn't want to mess with. Dow's ready for the new Wonder Woman movie because he wants to go get his free tiara and bracelets.
Yes, DC's shipping those out to all the comic stores,
Yep.
equal to their orders.
Yes. So June 3rd is Wonder Woman Day, just in time, I think, for the movie actually.
So Alan, if you hear this, you need to make sure you put your order in with Mike to get your tiara and bracelet.
Tiara or tiara?
Tiara. So, tomato.
He's from Oklahoma. He can say it however he wants.
I can say it how I want. What about the Goons back on, Kenny?
Yeah, the Goon movie. They think they have studios interested in making it now that R-rated cartoons have been done and were successful.
And
that was always the problem they ran into, is that no studio wanted to make an R-rated animated movie with a property they didn't own outright, and so now he thinks he's got some studios that are interested in making it.
And kind of segue into that R-rated one. You were saying Watchmen. It would be
Watchmen's supposed to be an
R-rated movie. So hopefully they'll do the whole thing, and even
a new animated R-rated movie.
Even new animated. So not an adaptation of the Watchmen stuff, but whole new stuff.
I'm not real sure if it's going to be a new or not. I had to actually look that up again.
I think it'd be kind of cool to do an animated adaptation of the Watchmen. I mean, it's going to be boring and long as hell, but But do all the
and have the ending from the comic.
Right.
A giant squid destroying.
I think
the
a giant
Earth.
squid destroys the Earth is a lot better in animated than it is
Yeah.
in a live action.
I'm sure if that's what they're doing. Like I said, you might want to go check that out. I
Oh
just
yeah! Spoiler
saw
alert!
that.
A giant squid destroys the world. And
Yeah. It wasn't Ozymandias.
I don't know if it's new stuff or I have to look that up.
I heard that they were going to do an HBO series also. This has been about 4 or 5 months ago that they were going to, 6 months ago, had talked about doing HBO Watchmen, but I'm not sure if it was going to be, the old stuff, or it was going to be the before Watchmen stuff. So, which that'd be kind of cool.
Well, going back to the Goon, I mean, the Goon had been started and then was just dropped, like you said, because nobody wanted to own the rights to it. Are they going to be able to get everybody that they'd started with back on the project and get that completed?
Apparently Ron Perlman's helping them shop it around, is what I understood. So.
And do you know what is it going to be a whole new story? Is it going to be a storyline from the comics?
Yeah, it's going to kind of be like an origin story type thing. It's a new story, I think. It kind of probably like sum ups the comic series in a movie, an adaptation. So, if you get the chance, go to YouTube. There's a 3-minute Goon animated trailer, and it is absolutely hilarious.
I heard the Teen Titans Judas Contract comes out next week, and if anyone's read the actual Judas Contract whole thing with,
I thought that already came out.
No, it's out. It's coming on DVD.
I think
it came out I think last week digitally. I think
okay,
this week
digitally. That's right.
Or next week it's or Tuesday it comes out.
I hear it follows fairly closely
Yeah,
until like the end.
Even the creepiness of the whole Terra love thing with Deathstroke, they kind of they've included that, which, in the show she's like 12, 13 years old, and he's a
okay.
kind of a grown man. He's like, yeah, we'll be together one day. So
Dal, I've heard that you don't want diversity in your comic books.
yeah, I don't want diversity. I'm good with diversity as long as it's like, makes sense.
Marvel doesn't want diversity.
Marvel says readers don't like diversity in their comics, and that's why their whole Marvel Now, whatever they're calling it, has failed. And they're going to fix it.
But I want to say this to Marvel. It's not the diversity. It was because you were putting out crap stories with crap art. That's why it didn't sell.
But according to them, it's the readers didn't like it, and everyone had all their money tied up in the DC Rebirth and all that, and so that's why they failed. Nothing on their part, obviously. It's
Yeah.
So they're not.
I like the quote. The quote was almost like, comic readers don't want women and black people in their comics, and that's not true at all. Have you seen the majority of comic readers? They're all guys. They love women, so they want women and women characters in comics. They just want them to be good.
Right.
Yeah, it all came down to the retailer summit, Marvel retailer deal that they had, and David Gabriel, one of their bigwigs, said that that's why their initiative has failed, was because of the readers not wanting diversity and all that. They are going to do Generations, which is taking their classic characters and their modern day inclination and kind of working them together, and that's going to happen. That's going to kind of relaunch the Marvel Universe again. Yay! Again. So we'll see.
Yeah,
bring back Professor X.
Yep. Just have the Beyonder reset the universe.
Right. See, there we go.
They like to do a lot of marketing, Marvel does, and you need to do marketing, but there's only so much marketing that can make your book succeed. I mean, once the word of mouth gets on the street, this is good.
Like a year ago, they had that poster that they released, and the quote from, was it Axel Alonso? Or he said, look how diverse it is. Look at all this diversity we're doing. And now they're all like, well, we tried it and the readers didn't like it. It's like, it's our fault that it didn't work. And it was the stories. They were awful. They had like an event, a new event every other month. And it was, and they're $4.
Yes.
Well, and do I care that Thor's a woman? No, because it makes sense. If she was worthy to pick the hammer up, by God, let her pick the hammer up and be Thor.
Right.
Yeah, anybody that is worthy enough can pick up the hammer. So if she picked it up, she can.
Now, granted, Sam Wilson becoming Cap, I think he should have stayed as Falcon, and kind of. But there again, that's because he's been that character his whole.
Well, I could also see him sort of like in DC, Dick Grayson is filled in for Batman.
Yeah. I thought that was your job.
Sometimes. So
Damn,
I
Dick
could
took
see
your job.
I could see Sam filling in for Captain when needed.
Right.
But wouldn't it be Winter Soldier?
It could be Winter Soldier.
I think
would be
the natural. And Falcon was such a great character as himself. I mean, coming up from the street.
There was nothing wrong with him being Falcon.
No,
Falcon's an awesome character.
Falcon is an awesome character. If Winter Soldier could fill, it all depends on the story. If you're writing a good story and the story says Sam Wilson needs to fill in for a little bit, then fine.
No one has a problem with Carol Danvers being Captain Marvel.
And you got Kamala Khan as Miss Marvel. Not a problem there.
But she's a good writer.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and what's funny is,
what's funny is that people have a problem with the art on Miss Marvel, and I like that guy's art.
Well,
but whatever.
I mean, you got the guy that played Falcon in the Captain America movies. I can't think of his name now.
Right.
But he wanted
Don Cheadle?
No,
that wasn't Don Cheadle.
He was War Machine.
He wanted to have the spandex. He's like, I'm playing Falcon. I get to wear spandex, and then
and then they give him that.
Yeah, and he's like, okay,
Transformer wings.
Right.
So it's not the diversity; it's the lack of good writing and good stories.
Writering?
That's a new word. Writering.
What else we got?
Enough politics.
Yeah. What about Colin Bunn?
Colin Bunn is releasing a new book with Aftershock, and it's going to be King Arthur versus Cthulhu. So I'm in. I'm in.
I mean, anytime you throw Cthulhu out there, yeah, it's just you have to pick it up.
Yeah.
Not exactly comic related, but more media related is. And Dallas probably looking forward to this. Is I'm interested in the new It movie by Stephen King.
Carrington is too. She can't wait to go see
Now, funny you mentioned that, because professional clowns are upset about it
Oh,
because it gives them a bad name.
Oh yeah, now we're discriminating against
We're
clowns.
discriminating.
And they're inkling into it at almost like racism.
You
oh
clownist.
my gosh.
Yeah.
So did they have a problem with the old It movie?
You know,
You know?
they probably
Why-
wouldn't make scary movies about clowns if you weren't so freaking creepy.
Yeah. Well, like,
Exactly.
where were these people last summer? Or last Halloween, you know, where
Yeah.
people were dressed up, you know, beating people up as
Beating people up
clowns.
as clowns, which was actually happening.
Yes.
Dressing up as clowns, not just your nice clowns, but scary clowns and
Didn't
running
the guy?
around. And
Didn't someone kill a guy
I
that
think
was
so,
dressed
yeah.
up as a
I
clown
think
because he
so.
was trying to scare him?
I think
Mhm.
so. Yeah.
Just another reason to be terrified of them.
Yeah, exactly, see?
But as a fan of the original It movie, I'm looking forward to it. But I'm not really sure if it's going to be as good. I'm hoping it's going to be as good because the original I really enjoyed. So looking forward to that. Sword and Swashbuckler getting
I
put
saw
back
that
out.
getting collected in a hardcover. Or,
I think I've got most of those issues, but I, would
think
be
I
interested
have
in
all of them.
picking that up.
yeah,
I finally put my collection together, and then they collect it.
And they
I was
collect
talking
it.
to Jazzy James earlier about it, you know, and he was. I tried to read a couple of them, but and then we were talking about. He's like, I never got into it, and so, but it'd be interesting.
It was beautiful art.
Yeah.
So.
That's what
That's
drew
what
me
drew
in
you
was
in.
the
Mhm.
art
I discussed last week
plus
about
pirates.
Pirates. About the DC horror book, the hardcover they were doing.
Yeah,
They canceled it already.
really.
Mm-hmm.
Well, IDW's doing Bernie writes in an
Yeah.
archive edition,
Mm-hmm.
but
So.
they won't tell you what they're putting in it.
Well, they're also trying to solicit people to send in artwork too, and that's
Mhm.
going to be. I think that'd be a little difficult to get people to give up their original artwork of Bernie's to have.
Well,
them.
you're not giving it
You're
to
not.
them.
You're,
I know.
you're
scanning
sending it to them. They're
Oh,
going
you're
to
just-
scan it. Yeah.
You're just scanning it to
Yeah.
them.
Huh.
or sending it to them to
Well,
scan
it's
and
got
they'll
to
send
be.
back or
Yeah,
something. but,
that's what I'm saying. I think they want you to send it in so they could professionally scan it,
well,
and that would be, I think, a little tough.
Well, I would be more than happy to do it, but they don't want, you know.
Captain Stern stuff, or
No, he doesn't have Captain Stern. He has a more recent. It was a
Dr.
Steve Niles.
Doc something.
Macabre.
No, I remember.
It was an IDW
It was an
series.
IDW
Yeah.
series that he did.
And I have a page from that, and then I have that kind of zombie sketch that he did.
I've
But they don't want that. They want specific time period stuff.
right.
But I was excited about that hardcover. You know,
Mhm.
because
You were ordering it, weren't
I,
you?
yeah, and they canceled it.
And how much was
That
that?
was
It
the
was like
House
49. Yeah, it was
Oh,
House of
okay.
Secrets, and it was like from when they went.
92 to.
Well, I think it was when they went to horror up through.
Mm-mm,
So when they started doing the horror stuff.
I don't think so. I think it started at 92 and went to like 100 or something.
Even then, that's not. I mean, it's nice, but yeah, it got canceled.
I wonder why they canceled that.
I don't know.
Did you
Maybe
find out?
maybe they'll resolicit it. Maybe they're gonna put a tribute to Bernie in it or something.
And I did notice the DC books this week are, have in the back has a 2-page,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pick
Thing.
up a DC book this week so I can get that.
It's pretty cool.
Now, what's in the back of the DC books?
A
It's
little
a,
tribute page to
tribute
Bernie.
page.
Page to Bernie.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, Carrington's got a little animated show she'd like to talk about. What was it called? Was it Thunder Buddies? What?
Buddy Thunderstruck.
Buddy Thunderstruck. It's got a 1 rating on Netflix, but Carrington gives
Not
it
even a
5.
star.
Not even a star. Gives it a 5-star rating. and what is this little animated show about?
It's about like this dog and a ferret who just race, and I love it whenever one of them crashes because it doesn't even look like it's real crashing.
Are they?
It's just like it just hits the ground like 3 times and then explodes.
They're racing like they're running themselves, or are they driving something?
They're driving something.
What do they
Semis.
drive? They're driving semis. So you have a dog and a ferret driving semis?
Racing semis.
Racing semis.
Yeah.
Are they in like is it a competition, or they have fans
Yeah.
and stuff?
Yeah, it's like a NASCAR type setting where they race semis.
So this is a high recommendation for you.
And there's only one saying I love from that show, and it's, fart nugget.
Well, I can see why you would like that. I haven't seen this. I'll have to check it out.
It's kind of a robot chicken type. It's stop motion and all that. So
Okay. Well, that's some animated news I didn't know anything about.
it's very, very goofy.
Now, you want to talk about, what was it? The Boys? Was it The Boys?
Authority.
The Authority. Okay, yeah.
Because Warren Ellis and Brian Hitch are back on it.
Now
They're going
is
to do a new
currently
series.
choking down a candy bar, so he can't talk.
I love it when we take a bite and then they ask you a question. Yes, they're reuniting because of this whole Wildstorm redo they're doing. They will be doing Authority.
And you said the first series they did together was awesome.
Yeah.
And so how many is this going to be? Like a whole new full series? Or going to be a mini series? What are they going to put together for us?
I haven't decided yet.
So Iron Fist has been out for a while.
The Netflix show.
series, and
One in the comic too.
it's been getting a lot of negative press,
You know,
to say the least. Really, I guess.
again, somebody's going to be offended by something. So the big deal was that they're using a white man to be the protector of a mythic Chinese city. Well, that's what the prophecy said. It would be an outsider that would come in, and they would fall from the flaming sky, and that's what he did. And so now, I mean, I guess white people aren't allowed to learn kung fu now.
But if anyone knows anything about that character from the 70s, he's been a white character.
Yeah.
Right. I
He's
mean,
been a white guy. It's not like he's,
it's not like something new
not
that
like
they just
Jackie
created.
Chan played him, and then now all of a sudden, it's a white guy playing him. I mean,
Right.
unlike Ghost in the Shell kind of problem, which is the exact
Yeah.
opposite. So
But yeah, most people are giving it negative reviews. But I think me and Kenny, we both enjoyed it. I think Kenny said it was. He thought it was better than Luke Cage.
It
At
was
least
better
it's
than the second half of Luke Cage.
second half of Luke Cage. And I kind of think the same. It's kind of the same, but just the opposite. Iron Fist is a little bit weaker at the beginning, but gets better as it goes along.
Yeah. I will say this, though. I'm getting very tired of the Claire Temple character. She is so CW.
I don't think she started out CW,
Yeah.
but I can see that now. She's getting CW where, we can't do this or we can't do that, and
And I'm
emo-y,
like, okay, the Hand is trying to kill you,
right,
but you're not allowed to kill them.
yeah.
Or she gets her panties in a bunch.
Well, she doesn't need to be on every single episode. I mean,
Yeah.
I could see the purpose of this character.
Because it ties all of them together so they meet
they have
and
somebody
form the
to-
defenders. And
They have somebody to come and stitch them up because
yeah.
for the most part, these guys are just they can get hurt, except for Luke Cage. For the most part, can't get hurt.
Yeah.
But all the other ones can get hurt. So, but no, I've enjoyed it. So I would say if you started watching it and you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to continue this, just give it a little bit, give it a few more episodes. I think you'll come around to it. And so I'm looking forward to then. The new Punisher that's going to be coming out. They've announced it for next year, 2017, and I've enjoyed.
I think they finished filming, didn't they?
They may have finished filming it.
I know
think.
they just started on Jessica Jones season 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to that as well. I enjoy the Netflix shows a lot more than the CW shows. It's my personal opinion, preference, but definitely looking forward to that.
Because
I like the grittiness of these as opposed to the CW. It just seems more whiny and emo-y to me. So, And other than Claire, who's starting to become that way, I think the shows are more interesting. I think the characters are more interesting. I just think it's all around a little bit better show. I like a lot of what Netflix has been putting up there. I mean, not comic book related, but the Get Down. That's a very good show. I
loved it.
Especially the first season. The second season has a few elements in it that I don't necessarily hate or anything. I just, I think didn't need to be in there. But overall, the story's really good. The characters are really good. The actors are good. So just a couple little notes, basically. Carmen Sandiego, if you're a fan of Carmen, she'll be returning to Netflix. And I mentioned who was voicing him. I can't remember who that was now. Dow, do you remember that?
No, sir.
America Ferrara.
She'd be good as Carmen Sandiego.
I think.
Yes.
Jane the Virgin.
Yes,
yes.
Yeah. You're right, yeah. We also have the last of Star Wars Rebels is going to be, the fourth season is going to be the end of that.
That'd be a shame. It's been a good series.
That was a series that it tied in loose ends from the Clone Wars, and it also kind of served as a link from the original trilogy to the Rogue One. Going back, earlier we discussed the controversy with the new X-Men book, but we didn't really discuss if it was a good read or not. So was it worth reading?
It was good. The book to pick up is X-Men Prime, kind of lays the groundwork for where they're going to go with the X books. X-Men Gold, yes, it was good. It was a kind of a throwback, and I think a good way to kind of start after the whole X-Men versus Inhumans debacle that happened. That, and with X-Men Blue that came out, I think the X books are looking pretty good.
And
I'm surprised.
Do you think this is going to turn the X books around? X is not hadn't been doing very well lately.
They've kind of been directionless the last few years, it seems like, and I think this is really well. We've got a new Wolverine coming up. It's Jimmy Hudson from the Ultimate Universe, Ultimate X.
Well, that's one of the main reason everybody's running around trying to get Ultimate X with his first appearance.
Right.
And there's some variant covers for it as well, of course.
Right. But yeah, I think that's going to be really good. He'll be coming up, I believe he'll be coming into the X-Men Blue. But the X-Men Gold, back on that subject, it's Kitty Pryde leading the team. It's got Old Man Logan.
Oh, that was another thing I wanted to mention about that. Wasn't Colossus the one wearing the shirt with the verse from the Quran?
I think so.
Who was in love with Kitty? Who was Jewish?
And he's Russian.
What does that have to do with anything?
So anyway, yes. Check out X-Men Prime, then check out X-Men Gold and X-Men Blue.
So they were worth reading. So
they were worth reading.
Okay.
It was a good read, yes.
So there's rumors that Apple is thinking about buying Disney, and there's been rumors in the past of Disney thinking about buying Netflix. Is there any truth to these rumors?
Right now, they're looking. They want for the number I've heard, it's $200 billion, which you say is too cheap.
Well, you said that Disney is only estimated at $1.7 billion.
No, I said $160 billion.
$160 billion.
$160 billion, and they want $200 billion.
I still think it seems cheap to me if they get it at that price.
Yeah.
But then, boy, that'd be just one huge company there. I mean,
that would have a lot of
all of those
fallout. Like I said, the Netflix deal in Hollywood, that'd be you'd have everything going to iTunes pretty much.
Everything would be going to iTunes.
Oh God, I hope
which
that
you would
doesn't
lose.
happen.
Jessica Jones could be on Apple TV only, exclusive.
Yeah, I'm not a big iTunes fan. I think it's just a horrible product.
I just don't like Apple. Period.
Well, I used to like Apple back in the day, but
well, you were just mentioning about wanting to find an old Apple.
An Apple IIe.
To go play Oregon Trail on again.
That was a great machine.
I thought that was a phone app now.
I think it's probably a phone app now, but the original,
app, yes.
It was back in the old
so just
Apple
play
IIs.
it on your phone.
I might.
He would die of dysentery.
It would be a lot better on an Apple IIe.
Dysentery.
Dysentery.
Starlin is returning to Guardians of the Galaxy.
He is a 5-issue miniseries he's writing with Alan Davis doing the art.
So he's not doing any art. He's just doing the writing.
He's doing the writing, right? But it's an in continuity story, so. But Alan Davis, great artist from the late
like
80s.
One of the most underrated artists of all time.
Did he
Alan
do
Davis.
70s stuff too? Was it 78? Around there, maybe?
Seems like he came around in the early 80s.
Him and Paul
Smith.
Paul Smith, thank you. Yeah.
Another one. He just had the unfortunate responsibility of taking over the X-Men after John Byrne and Terry Austin.
Which his stuff is amazing.
I like his stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, Alan Davis is doing the art. Tim Starlin's writing it. It'll be out in. Let's see, we'll be in by June, May, June, about so.
That's.
And moment of silence for my favorite series, one of my favorite series ending, Black Widow. Okay, that's enough.
Oh, they're ending it.
It's over. That was the last issue that just
was it
came
because
out.
we don't want readers don't want diversity?
I don't know. I think Samney might be leaving Marvel.
Okay.
Black Widows have been more like mini-series, so it seems like to me.
Well, no. I mean, this was a 12-issue series. And,
right.
And Edmondson's was, I think it was supposed to be 24.
Oh, okay. Was it?
But it only went, I think, 18 or 20. But,
well, hopefully they'll be able to find a new team and put out another Black Widow series. So, well, I think that's all I have on news today. Unless you guys have anything, I'm ready to close up shop and go get something to eat.
Yeah, I guess that's all we've got then.
It's been fun, and we will be having another episode up pretty soon. And we look forward to talking to you again. And just leave us any feedback and anything you'd like us to talk about, and we'll make it happen. So this is Terry the French Tickler French.
Captain Dalian.
Just Kenny.
Just Carrington.
And Just Carrington. Signing out. Take care.
See ya.